Well, something that might sort of shake up the way you look at it and then might help you to shake up the way that some others are looking at it is that while you are sitting and having conversation with someone who you see sort of at the top of the chain of command, getting to make decisions that will affect everyone all the way out, while you're sitting and visiting with that person, just for a moment in your own mind, don't tell them this, but in your own mind, pretend that instead of them being at the top of this chain of command, that they are the last one out on it. That they are the very last one that's being affected by all of this. So as you're listening to them, listen to them as the sincere person that, as you said wisely, every one of them is, someone who sincerely wants to know how they can make their world better for them. Every individual is selfishly oriented. And an organization, whether it's a government organization or a business enterprise that has thousands of employees, must understand first that every single entity that is working within that organization is naturally looking for what is best for them. The entire universe is wired in that way. Even the one-celled organism is having its personal experience, which is causing it to prefer, and Source is saying yes to that. So imagine an organization with thousands of people, and each one of them intuitively understanding on some level that life is supposed to be better for them. And the universe, each one of their individual source energies, knowing what's best for them and calling them toward it. And then imagine an organization lead or head who doesn't get that, who thinks that it's their job to decide what's good for everybody, and it's their job to put everybody in the place of creating what's better for the whole. Now we're going to start in another place because we can feel you following our train of thought perfectly. As source energy, when we see you come forth into your physical body and we see your exposure to contrast cause you to want something, Source knows that there is no one better to know that than you. Source knows it so well that Source immediately becomes one with it. And yet people in organizations at the top don't know that about the people in their organization. They don't trust them to do the thing that's best for the whole. And if you could convince leadership that if someone does what's best for the individual, that it ultimately is what's best for the whole, then you would have such a thriving organization. And we think that what goes wrong, that the big disconnect between employer and employee, whether it's private or government, is that so many of those at the top don't believe in the well-meaningness of those who are working for them. And those who are working for them don't believe in the well-meaningness of the corporate head. It's like people have just got it stuck in their craw that nobody's looking out for me. And if you could convince any of them, you don't have to convince all of them, but the one that you will benefit will be the one that you finally get this sentiment across to. And this is our mission here as we are visiting with all of you here today. You are a very good and worthy person, and all that is heaven and earth is working toward your success. And everything that happens to you is part of the process in trying to bring you back into everything that you have become. If you could convince anyone that they are worthy and that things are working for them, no matter how they appear right now, and you could get them to start optimistically looking for the advantages of right where they stand, they would fork right into fortune and fame and abundance of all manner that is pleasing to them. Really, they would. We know so powerfully that well-being is your natural legacy. And frankly, you have just sort of organized yourself away from your alignment. So many people worrying about so many things that other people are doing and not getting to the heart of anything. So we could talk all day, every day about the different things that are wrong in government and the different things that are wrong in employees and the different things that are wrong. In other words, this could be better and this could be better and this could be better. But back from all of that is this basic belief that people have picked up along their physical trail that goes something like, good won't come to me unless I fight for it. And my employer doesn't wish the best for me. My employer is trying to get from me and not give back. And almost everybody's playing that same backwards game, and therefore not deliberately but absolutely depriving themselves of the well-being that would be there if they weren't beating that drum, you see. So how you convince a leader or a follower that well-being really is after them and wanting them and calling them and summoning them, it's not an easy thing to convey, but it is the work.
And it is possible. And in fact, there's good progress in some organizations. What is sort of the mysterious thing is if you get leaders to understand that, and I've done this with leaders, big organizations where we talk about emotion is the metric of life, and that organizations are really individuals first, and then they are connected through relationships about creating value for others. And so the real work to me is to help others see how that enlightened view or that true view or that beneficial view can then find its way into the structure, how we change businesses.
But there's something at the heart of that is inherently out of whack. And what that is, you said, and create value for others. And of course, all business has to promote that. But if the business could understand that it must create value right there for the individual, and that everyone is so selfishly oriented that if they don't feel that they are personally getting value, then they've got nothing to give anyone else. In other words, that's where it must be. You have to find a way to help those that are interacting with you understand their value. And if they are so far from being able to find it, then you have to set them free. It's an individual thing, but that really is what you're going for. In other words, we would like to say to any employer, we would like to say, if you can convey to the people who work with you your intense desire for them to find well-being through their interaction with you, and you can help them believe that you really mean that, then you have an organization that's healthy at the core. But if instead what you're conveying is there's something wrong with you, and together we're going to take all this stuff that's wrong with all of us and we're going to give value to someone else, it's not possible. It's building a structure on soggy soil, and at some point it's going to topple over. When you want something, please let yourself go with it. Please let yourself imagine it, dream it, talk about it. Don't keep arguing for your limitations. Don't keep explaining why you're not over there yet. Don't keep trying to justify why things aren't better. It doesn't matter. And no one's listening that can do anything about closing the gap, you see. And so we're going to talk today, all day, about closing this vibrational gap, about moving up the emotional scale, about listening to the calling of source energy. And we so much want you to make a decision that wherever you are is where you are. In fact, that would be the most profound thing that you might ever write down in your journal. Where I am is where I am. Where I am is where I am, because where you are is where you are. Can we say it another way? Where you are is where you are. And where you are is just fine. In other words, where you are is where you are. And where you are in relationship to where you want to be is your business and nobody else's business. And that's why you've got the only guidance about that. So when you're asking other people about how you're doing, they don't know. When you try to get other people to give you data about that, all that does is, all of that world out there and all of those people, they are beneficial in helping you to have the contrasting experience which causes you to conclude your personal preferences. It's very nice to have a neighbor living life in a wonderful way and inspiring your desire for that. Or it's nice to have a neighbor living life in a horrible way, which inspires your desire for something very different than what your neighbor is living. In other words, all of that contrasting experience causes you to give birth to desires. But once the birth happens, which is all day, every day, you don't need somebody else's opinion because you've got internal guidance that's letting you know. And the thing that we think is the screwiest of all things that humans have come around to is we wonder, even though we know the answer, we want to put it out there, we wonder, it is incredible that humans have come to the place where somehow they got sideways of the idea that good feels good. How did that happen? How could it possibly have happened? We said earlier there were two things that are hanging you up, and one is that 99% of every creation is complete before you see physical evidence of it. So even though you may very well be moving toward the result that you're wanting because the evidence hasn't manifested, you don't believe it, and so you freak out and go the other way. And the other thing is that so many of you have come to believe that negative emotion is a bad thing and that you should avoid it at all costs. So then, when you're in a place of negative emotion, you want to do the impossible. You want to jump over into pure positive emotion. You want to follow your bliss from despair, or you want to get on a rampage of appreciation from your fear. And we say those vibrations are too far apart. You're going to fall in the crack. You're going to fall in the crevasse. You can't make the jump. Those quantum leaps aren't natural. So that's why we say to you, it is our desire that you make peace with where you are. So we would stand, if we were in your physical shoes, we would stand here now, wherever it is, whenever it is, and we would say, so here I am, and I have the ability to fork in the direction of things that will feel better, or I can fork in the direction of things that will feel worse. And even if you're over here in despair, and you're making an effort to fork, eventually, if you keep making the effort, you got to end up over there where you want to be. But if you're not making the effort, what we see with so many of you is you fork this way and you fork that way and you fork this way and you fork that way, and then you complain, this doesn't work for me. And we just say, if you fork this way and then this way and this way and then this way and then this way and then this way and then this way and this way, but this way and 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 this way. And since it's nobody's business, oh, there'll always be those in the peanut gallery that'll be standing there ready to say, oh, you forked that way. And you want to say, stick around if you want to see forking. In other words, what you want to say is, I'm in charge of this, and it's no big deal where I am in any moment because I can tell by the way I feel what feels better. And so I'm not this red hot minute trying to improve everything in my life all at once. I'm just doing the best I can from where I am. And friends, what we want you to know in the way that we know it is that that is good enough. You're not ever going to get to the place where there won't be more that you're reaching for. The contrast causes you to give birth to a new desire, which source becomes one with immediately. And then as you reach to find the thought that feels better and you close the gap, you do close the gap and you receive the manifestation of it, but you also get more contrast that causes you to want something different. There will never be a time. It is our promise to you. It's what the eternity of this environment is all about. There will never be a time when you will stop giving birth to new things, and therefore there will never be a time the source is not calling you toward it. And we want to impart to you that that really is what life is. Life is this expansion and then this closing the gap and then this expansion and then this closing the gap. That's what riding this wave of creation is all about. That's why you came forth. You didn't come forth to fix things that are broken or to fix a broken world. You came forth for the joy of the expansion, the joy of your personal expansion. And when you start letting energy flow through you and you start hearing the call and moving in the direction of it, you'll start feeling the euphoria that is the true life that you are meant to live. A young man sat in the chair recently and he said, Abraham, I have a question I wanted to ask, but my friend said I shouldn't ask it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. He said, why does the dog put its head out the window of the car and risk getting bugs in its eyes? And we said, because the ride is so worth it. It is so exhilarating to have your head out of the window of the car, you see. And it is with that same attitude that you came forth into this physical body. Not because something needed to be done, not because another painting needs to be painted, not because some wrongs need to be righted. You came into this body because you are this energy of expansion that loves the feeling of the new idea, and you love the feeling of the closing the gap and the becoming that which is new, which is the new vantage point, which then gives birth to the new idea. You wouldn't for a moment get rid of contrast if you could, because you know the contrast is what all of these dreams that are over there in vibrational escrow are made from. But we know that you would gladly give up the resistance, and that is what this gathering is all about. We want you to relax into the well-being, into the luxury, into the evidence, into the abundance of the life that is meant for you. And most of all, we want you to stop beating up on yourself about where you are, because where you are is just fine and it's temporary anyway. Well, let's all go to the beach. You have some things you want to talk about? Some things. Begin right here, then here. Yes.